All right, good Sunday afternoon day. I hope you're enjoying the weekend. And to set the stage for this upcoming week, um, just a quick question to consider. What you got in you that you might not be revealing to the world? You might be doing a little bit, but not full on. What's your capacity to be who you are, to do your thing to the fullest? Even in the midst of those doubts, worries, concerns. Are people going to like me? What are they going to think? Those are the typical type of questions that go through our minds when we are considering doing something that's important to us. I mean, just showing up, just being visible in this world can be a pretty scary thing. More for some than others. Like for me, it used to be beyond scary to just show up in this world. I was born very, very, very shy and rather volatile. And then on top of that, I don't know about you, but I got really good training in my family to care deeply how you show up to others. What do they think of you? And it just became who I was. And, we'll always have some level of degree of concern of how are we showing up in the world to others? Because to show up differently, by definition, there's some risk involved, right? And you wouldn't believe the percentage of people who are held back by those things. Concern of how we show up in this world and what people are going to think. That simple thing. It's incredible. So if you find yourself being held back by those concerns, or thinking, do you have it in you? Are you good enough? Are people going to enjoy? What are they going to think of you, right? All of those questions will just simply get in the way of us doing our thing. And they're good questions. They're also not good questions. Because if I let those questions stop me, those questions did nothing. It's very normal to be concerned with how we show up to others. I get it. Totally. But I think that in this world right now, we need people to have a little bit more sense of boldness, a little extra courage, a little extra a sense of craziness. Like, you know what? Let's go do this thing that I've been talking about, dreaming about, planning. If there's ever a time to be doing our thing, it's right now, isn't it? And it's in stark contrast to the crap that we find ourselves in right now. I mean, what a kind of a freaky time to be alive, right? There's a lot going on. And I say, because of that, not in spite of it, that's why we need to show up more than ever. Because then we return our power back to ourselves to make a difference in the midst of being helpless in the midst of the craziness, right? So, even if it's just a creative project, not just, but a creative project of some sort. I've got this one neighbor that I would love to see her doing her thing again, which is photography. But it's hard to think about what we're here to do, what our passions are in the midst of the craziness, because the mind is going to be freaking out. And that is more important than, I want to start a business or, get back into my photography or whatever it happens to be. It's going to show up as secondary. And I say that is primary. Besides taking good care of ourselves, being safe and all that, right? And on top of hopefully being there for other human beings. Even if it's just a smile on your face to a stranger as you're walking by. It's amazing the little things that make a big difference in people's lives. To show appreciation to another human being, that alone is so valuable. So isn't it time that we show up? If not now, when? Really? So I want to hear from you. Do you have something that you would love to be acting on, but I've been holding back a little bit? I'd love to hear. Now, again, it takes a lot of courage to do our thing in this world. Absolutely. And unfortunately, the vast majority of us will never get to experience what it's like to be doing your thing to the fullest in the midst of where we find ourselves. And I promise you that the sense of power, the sense of joy, creativity. I have a say in how my life is going to go. It's monumental when we're doing our thing in spite of all of the external stuff, and especially the internal stuff. Not good enough. People are going to like it. Oh, I don't have time for this. Yeah, that's nice, but I got my kids, my job, this, that, and the other thing to take care of. I can't be doing that stuff. That's frivolous. I say that's how your mind is going to interpret living your passion, whatever that happens to be. And I say that part of the work is to reawaken to the notion that, no, this is actually really important. And I don't care what your passion is. That is totally beside the point. But if somebody's being actually true to themselves and taking a little bit of risk, having a little sense of boldness in the midst of everything, man, that's powerful. Truly. Do you know what I mean? Have you experienced it? Are you doing your thing? Please let me hear from you. Where is my comment board? I keep losing that. Anyway, all right. It was supposed to be just a couple of minutes just to pose a question to you. And this is not a question that's on my board right now to answer. It's a question to live with. Do you know what I mean by the difference? You know, it's like a one-shot check-in. It's like, hey, what would I do if I had no concerns or anything? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, great. And maybe you got an answer, or maybe you didn't. But this is something to place as an intention, something to let your mind work on. What would be possible in the absence of the crap that gets in the way? What would be possible? So that's it. Live with that question. See what comes up, because we need you to show up more than what you've been doing. We need it. Come on, people now. Let's do this thing. All right. See you guys. I got to go play with my puppies.